The Fallout TV show did what nobody thought possible. It fixed video game adaptations forever. But the real question is how? The history of video game TV shows and movies is rocky, to say the least. So in this video, we're gonna cover the ones that set us back a couple hundred years, the ones that actually brought something new to the table, and how the Fallout TV series makes sure all of those elements are blended together to become the new gold standard for video game adaptations. To really understand how the show did so well, we have to start by covering those projects that definitely missed the mark. Although a lot of people love the campiness of the original Mortal Kombat movie, and there's still some nostalgia for the OG picks like the original Mario movie from the 90s.
And now, I'm gonna make a monkey out of you, plumber. Trust the fungus.
Every single other movie or TV show trying to take on the responsibility of adapting a video game has been a hit or miss, to say the least. Doom was a flaming pile of nightmare fuel. The creepypasta Goombas and Bowsers from the OG Mario movie left me scarred as a kid, Baba. And then if you want to take it a little bit more modern, you have Assassin's Creed and World of Warcraft that all suffered from the same exact illness. They failed miserably to condense the expansive universes of these games into a compelling story. And that's the bottom line. You need to have a solid story. The characters otherwise feel bland, with the studios focusing on the spectacle of the CGI to carry them across the finish line. And it shows, Papa, which huge flop after flop, both at the box office and with the audience. I think the biggest culprit of this generation is probably the Halo TV show that just got canceled after just 2 seasons. But Jose, look at this. It looks so cool. The budget was massive. All the characters look faithful to the game. And this sucked. Even before the project launched, we had seen reports that the showrunners of the TV show and the writers didn't even consider using the storylines of the games as their North Star to guide the scripts. So my friend, you're seriously telling me that you're gonna adapt Halo without following any of the story beats that we love from Halo? How does this make sense? You are taking close to 20 years of lore from one of the most beloved franchises in video game history, and you're throwing it all down the drain in favor of shock value, taking Master Chief's helmet off for every single scene, and high-budget action set pieces? I'm going to give it some credit. The second season was a lot better than the first one. It did try to do a little bit of course correction, but the proof was already in the pudding. What a shocker. Nobody wanted to watch a show about Halo that didn't feel like Halo. But this specific scenario taught us a beautiful lesson. The projects that actually stay faithful to the source material and try to bring something new to the table from that actually become successful. HBO did the right thing by adapting The Last of Us and closely following the game's narrative, even going as far as having the original creator of the game, Neil Druckmann, form a part of the showrunning team. You also have amazing animated projects like Castlevania that took the anime route to capture the gothic atmosphere and the complex characters of the games without sacrificing on the story. The same exact thing happened with Cyberpunk Edgerunners, Sonic 1 and 2, and of course the new Super Mario movie from Illumination. All of these projects that I just mentioned found a ton of success with the audience and the critics because they embraced the source material and they crafted a fresh new perspective on the lore based off of them. And this, my friends, is where Fallout comes into play. As soon as Prime Video announced that it was adapting the Fallout universe into a TV series, I was a little bit concerned. This is a massive franchise with a rabid fan base and an amazing lore that spans over 15 years of storytelling throughout the wasteland. But what they delivered exceeded every single expectation that any of us could have imagined. Jonathan Nolan, Chris Nolan's brother, and the rest of his amazing writing and producing team took on the task of adapting a new chapter in the Fallout franchise, just framed around the format of a TV show.
And grabbed a moldy one.
It doesn't function as a prequel or like a sort of reimagining. It is a new step in the journey of the whole Fallout lore, just set with new characters. To them, this was the key to the puzzle, not focusing on doing a one-to-one copy of what we know from the games. Instead, you use it as a direct inspiration, tonally, aesthetically, and in terms of the story, to create something new and expand the world in a positive way. See, it has the high-budget action action set pieces, the amazing prosthetics, and the costumes. But most importantly, it focuses on meticulously recreating the post-apocalyptic aesthetic of the Fallout games in a way that feels authentic. But beyond just taking what works and reframing it with a new set of characters, I think the biggest win is that the show introduced new elements that expand on the existing lore. For example, giving us the interconnected vaults 31, 32, and 33, some new characters, and balancing the tone of all of the games at the same exact time. Fallout is known for its intense, over-the-top action and the dark humor. If you think about it, you're being thrusted in the middle of the apocalypse, and yet there is still a lot of fun in the process.
I have been unable to find a suitable marriage partner. At least one I'm not related to. And we have rules about that for a reason.
There's a bunch of irony peppered in through the dialogue and the situations that you come across. The creatures are super well designed, the factions are morally ambiguous to test your mettle. And that's the fun of it. You build out your adventure as the Wastelander in a way that mirrors who you are in real life. It is a wacky-ass world that has a deeper meaning veiled under balls-to-the-wall insanity. This TV series blends all of those elements to give you crazy action laced with effective moments of horror and humor.
I said unhand him!
I'm sorry, okay? Don't murder me. It's just, the guy was f***ing my chickens.
Because I find it extremely funny that while explaining the depth of the apocalypse, you drop a raunchy joke that perfectly fits into the tone of the narrative and the personality of the character that's delivering the punchline. And speaking of the characters, they were amazing. Their dialogue was handled so meticulously that when you see the new protagonists like Lucy, Maximus, and the Ghoul, their stories have weight, and when they are intertwined with the crazy things that happen by the end of Season 1, you are enticed to want more. To quote the great words from Mr. Kendrick Lamar himself, mi pana, the audience is not slow. We can immediately tell when the studio's just trying to phone it in, trying to distract us with a bunch of fancy digital effects and a couple of Easter eggs that the hardcore gamers are gonna be like, ooh, this is shiny, shiny. All as an excuse to just buy their new streaming service for $14.99, or I guess like $27.99 by this point. Fallout did exactly the opposite. They stuck to their guns of creating a compelling story that stands on its own, while also remaining faithful to the source material in a way that the audience is going to appreciate. I'm not gonna get tired of saying it. Fallout fixed video game adaptations by respecting the original IP, understanding what makes it unique, and then translating those elements effectively into a brand new media. So what's the point? What's the result of doing all this? Well, now you have an Emmy-nominated show that was a total financial and critical success, and both gamers and TV show fans are begging for Season 2, and it's become the staple of how to do it right. Is it the perfect video game adaptation? No, but its legacy is clear. Fallout became the new gold standard for big studios moving forward. The bar for expectations has been set over here, and there is officially no going back. But maybe it's just me. Let me know in the comments. What did you think of the Fallout TV show?